Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case, reflecting back on the Kaden Pressey situation from last night. I've got an update in regard to that list which has been revealed and shown. Credit to the individual that did a recap, a repost of it from Donna Bond's point of view on Facebook, which was created by her. I'm going to share with you the list today, which is along the lines of list of suspects, list of supposed partygoers, list of other individuals, miscellaneous ones, and maybe some that may have been there or claim to have been there but not quite. There's quite a few names which will shock you because, at least for me, I've never seen before. Maybe that applies to you too. Take in mind, it's an old post, so things could have drastically changed since, but it's just for that context with what was talked about last night to show you the list. And the list, does it link to Donna, to the Kaden Pressey convo? Not directly, because that was some other member of the general public saying that they were worried about Kaden. If he wasn't added on the list, he needed to be added onto the list. And in doing so, Elisha was pissed off about it. Now, at the end of the day, this list isn't something official or police related, so I don't know why Elisha would have to get really pissed off about it. Is it a bit over the top? You could argue that. But for those that want additional context or to reflect back on what went down last night, which was very important, also highlighting Kaden Pressey apologising for his parents' behaviour, the revelations there will shock you, and the link to that video, if you haven't watched it already, is available top right corner where the eye symbol is, up there, along with the full playlist of the Noah Presgrove case. Welcome to those that are currently here during the live premiere, and shout out to those that were present last night. Good numbers, good amount of people present. Keep the momentum going. And as well, for those that do leave comments under the video, that is appreciated. And if you do have any thoughts after watching today's video, any questions, answers, anything at all, leave your comments below under the video. It'll help with spreading awareness, and the engagement will help YouTube push the videos out there in order to spread the awareness and keep the case alive. If you want to support the channel, there is a PayPal link below in the comments pinned message. The order of how we're going to do things today, I'm going to show you the list immediately, go through that, analyse if necessary, give you my thoughts, and then we're actually going to take a look at comment by Payet, a guy, an individual member of the general public that was driving down the highway on the day of Noah's death, and at a certain time, not linked at the time, but at a certain time in the morning of Monday, ended up hitting something, and Chris felt, ooh, what could it have been? But still called the police or reached out to the police, did the right thing, and in the end was innocent. Turned out it was, I believe, a hog or something. But, you know, the act of reaching out, possibly feeling guilt, feeling you could be responsible for something, so you take actions into your own hand, whether you hand yourself in or you just contact police, and then it's over and done with. If more people out there could do the same as Chris, specifically in the case, for whatever reason, then that could go a long way, if it is even possible. But the thing is, Chris had a few words to say to Elisha previous. Take in consideration, this is from one of my YouTube videos from some weeks ago now, and the comment was deleted by Payet. So the Chris, supposedly, the real Chris, the one that hit a supposed hog and thought it could have been Noah, has actually commented on one of my previous videos calling out Elisha Lee. Very interesting. But the comment was deleted by them, or YouTube. But luckily, I got a screenshot of it before it was deleted. So I'm going to be archiving that today, and you're going to see it maybe for the very first time. So there's a handful of different things to look at, and it's very important to catch up on. Shout out to George Choden for that reference, because it reminded me to do that part of the video. I was going to do it previous, but then I forgot because of breaking news. So now I can include it in today. And if there is time, I'll also look back at some previous comments from a video or two ago and answer any questions there. That's the order of today. Feel free to stick around. Use the live chat if you're present during the premiere on the right, and we'll see where things go. On screen is from Facebook, and it's Donna Bond's own profile page in which she posted this. Just take that into consideration. It was not, at least visually on screen, was not from one of the Facebook pages or groups. So should it concern people too much to trigger a reaction from the likes of Elisha? Well, you let me know below. This was November 28th, 2023, November time, and I believe it was November 19th in some of the notes what we were looking at last night, I think. Yeah, November 19th, 2023, the list, relevant to this in a way. Donna Bond said was going to do an update and change a few things around, but due to recent events, I'm going to leave it as it is. And we'll just zoom in, just make it a bit clearer for you. Update, not everyone on the list is a suspect now. With that being said, the investigators are not wanting to talk to some of these kids because they're considered suspect. They're trying to figure out why other kids are lying about being there and other parents are lying about their kids being there. Can't put one on the list without putting them all on. There's that chicken shit now for the ones that are lying, and it's already been proven that they lied. That's on them, because once you tell a lie, no one is going to believe anything that you say. And also for the one shaking the jar of ants and running back and forth between, that's chicken shit as well. I've not heard one person that I'm friends with call anyone a fat bitch, a psycho, and I've also damn sure never seen a mother go against her own son. Oh, is this a reference to Elisha? I've not heard one person that I'm friends with call anyone a fat bitch, a psycho. Unlike what Elisha has done to that unnamed individual that was friends with Kaden Pressey, which we were looking at last night. And I'm also sure never seen a mother go against her own son, unlike Elisha twisting Kaden's words. Elisha stating that Kaden chewed out a 22-year-old Avery Combs at the party because Avery was driving Georgia to the party, who was already drunk. When we know, and what we've heard, it was actually Breely that was driving Georgia, and Avery had no clue they were coming on down. So why would Elisha word it that way and make it seem like Kaden Pressey was arguing with people at the party when Kaden never really did that from, I guess, his point of view? So, nope, I never did that, I didn't do this. Why would Kaden's own mother make Kaden out to be a bit of a troublemaker or argumentative with partygoers? You know, if you're innocent, what's the point adding on to the story to then make yourself look bad or aggravated in some sense? It's a bit weird. Adding on from that though, Donna says, update, anyone out there between 12 noon on the 3rd till 5 a.m. on the 4th, Monday, the names will stay on the list regardless. Update to post, it has been said that I am picking and choosing whose names go on this list, and that people were upset that some names weren't added to this list. So in the interest of justice for Noah, if there's anyone that has names that they would like to be added this list, please feel free to post those names in the comments. Questions. Don't question the size of my balls. My bra size states mine are much bigger. Oh, is that so? Are we having a bit of a competition on who's got the biggest balls and bras? Well, I don't know who's going to be winning that. I mean, am I in the line for winning that possibly? I mean, I've got a 46-inch chest. I'm due a bra or two by now, but I don't see any about. Oh my God, Donna Bond, you best not be sending me any. Oh God. Right, take it to the, let's move on. Interesting. But the mention of people claiming to be at the party when they're not, and parents also lying, what the hell does that do? What good does that do in the case? It would make more sense people lying, saying they weren't at the party when they were. Maybe because they were trying to protect themselves, or parents saying, no, my kids weren't there, but they actually were. That can be as a means of protecting yourself because you don't want to be a part of the case or investigation. You don't have any responsibility with, I don't know, drinking, social hosting, anything tied up in that. But to say, yeah, I was down at that party, but you weren't. Why is that? You're trying to create a fake alibi because you were elsewhere doing something worse? I wonder. Anyway, here's some of the names from the looks of it. Size states mine are much bigger. Well, good for you, Donna Bond. We'll have to get the tape measure out and have a second opinion, but we'll leave that for later. You're kidding, right? This isn't Harry Potter. The only thing that's going to happen if you say their names is a bunch of wine bag BS. Ooh, okay, we used the word of tit. Interesting. Now, Harry Potter and his magic vibrating wand. Oops, sorry, just got mixed up with Donna Bond's pottery class. Now, in terms of these names, Will Coxon, I'm guessing Stevie Howard's father. Howard, as in which Howard? Stevie Howard or a different Howard? Is it Tim Howard? I think that name was mentioned, but not here. Maybe it was mentioned on one of the pages or one of the owners of the Save Asleep page. Combs. Which Combs? Carter, Avery Combs. Milan. The Milan family in general. Jesson. Oh. Jesson as in Gage Jesson. The guy that supposedly gave Noah Presgrove and Mikey Lair a ride down to the party on Sunday. Lyra. Who is Lyra? Garcia. Rojas. I'm guessing Rojas is Isaac Rojas. Newton. Jack. Caleb. Colton Newton. Monson. Travis Monson. Jernigan. Logan Jernigan. Sweat. Not me. I am sweating. But Brylan Sweat. Camarillo, Torres, Johnson, Myers, as in Carlson Myers. Don't know much about them, but I've heard that name pop about. Houston, Franco, also known as Ace Franco, one of Justin Roy's nephews that in 2025 got arrested for, battery assault and discharge of a firearm in a vehicle. We got Snow, don't know who that is. Pressy, Kaden Pressy, that's why Elisha got triggered. We got Cinder or Snyder. We got Arellano, also known as Trent Arellano, which was mentioned last night from Kaden Pressy's conversations. And then it says Bond. Oh no, Bond, are you on the list as well? Where's Donna's house? Shouldn't Donna's house be on the list? That Donna's house attended the party. I don't know how, but... Right. So you could say it's kind of vague, as in, it doesn't have an S on some of the names, like Newton. If it said Newtons, it could mean the whole family. So I guess it might be Jack for Newton. Milan, maybe Jasmine. Combs, Carter, or Avery, or both. Howard, you think Stevie Howard. Don't know why it's just done last names only, but it is what it is. But I'm sure there's a couple of names there we've never heard of before, or maybe some of you have not. Lyra, never heard of. Garcia, never heard of. Camarillo, not heard of. Torres, didn't hear of. Johnson, not heard of. Houston, Snow and Schneider, not heard of. Trent Arellano, not really seen much of. Very interesting. And have these names crept up ever since? Nope. And how many of these people, the ones what we've not heard of before, how many of these people were at the party at some point? And how many were there on the Monday onwards? The names that I'm aware of that were at the party on the Monday, specifically leading up to Noah's death, would be Jasmine Milan, as an example. Gage Jesson was not there and did not attend the party from the looks of it, and was only passing by on the Sunday to give Noah a ride down, and Mikey Lair. Isaac Rojas, yes, was there Monday. Jack Newton was there Monday, but Colton was not. Was there Saturday, but did not return back Sunday. Monson, the same for him, Saturday, but did not return back Sunday or Monday. Logan Jernigan, there, present Monday. Sweat, also present there Monday. And then the other names don't know. Myers, no clue. Ace Franco, supposedly there Monday, but really early hours and then left. And Pressy, of course, there. Interesting. And then just a bit more extended, zooming in the additional comments below. I'm sure I've missed a couple of names. If so, I'll update it until otherwise proven differently. Everyone is a suspect, including the damn adults. They still don't get it. One little lie will make everyone question every word you say after the lie, so get stuffed with the crying, pissing and moaning and stop blaming others for their behaviour on social media. Now, if any of you want to be slick enough, jump in the goblet of fire with me. Let's go cry me a effing river. Oh, goodness gracious, Donna Bond. Donna, do you have to try and do a certain impression from Harry Potter? Which one? Was it Snape? That's not going to be a good idea, is it? I'm not good at doing the impressions from Harry Potter. Oh, Donna Bond, you're a very naughty individual. I will see you in the chamber later tonight. I would like you to continue your studies and read all thoroughly through the papers. Oh, Donna Bond, you best be on good behaviour or we're going to have some problems. Do you understand? Anyway, besides that dodgy impression, this is where we transition on to some of the comments, as in YouTube, and we'll look at extended ones later. It wasn't 2 minutes ago, but it was at the time when I took the screenshot. In terms of if you wanted to trace it back, not this one, because this one was deleted. I got a screenshot before it disappeared. There's another one which we'll get to shortly. So look back, it was on the Never Seen Before audio, shocking details by Elisha revealed. And I think that was the collection of audio where Elisha was claiming this and that and a range of different stuff. I don't know. I think in that video, I had the audio playing and then possibly I read out the notes, analysing it after. It might have been nearly 10 minutes worth of audio. Don't know if we'll have to go back over it again, but it's what Elisha said, and did it match up with what Kaden said? Not exactly. Anyway, Chris's comment, because from what I remember, it was Elisha in one of the audio messages towards an individual in the community, calling out Chris Payet and saying, oh, he's a massive liar. Anyway, you can't trust him around town. And Chris's response at the time said, Elisha, let's not forget about how you called me, saying to watch my back, and how you cared about me and how people are crazy about 2 to 3 months ago. Karma will come back around to you one day. You might consider changing your ways and turning to God. Lying about me on the internet is childish. I'm quite sure anyone that knows me would disagree with your perception of me. And last I checked, the police said there was no human blood or evidence when I willingly turned my truck over to law enforcement. So it wasn't just a call, but it was turning the truck in two to be analysed and further checked. And in the end, it wasn't Noah, it wasn't linked to that, but because Chris actually reached out, supposedly, from what he says, it goes a long way. And if other people did the same thing, maybe you'd get a bit more clarity. And others could say, yeah, but it's not going to lead on to anything because Noah didn't get murdered, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it might narrow it down. Or if it was possible murder, but we don't really know who it is, or a lot of people are innocent, just tick them off the list, get it out of the way, and then eventually reach an understanding. So for Elisha to have supposedly saying to Chris that Chris needs to watch his back. Why? What's going to happen? Is Elisha going to floor Chris on the floor and sit on top of him? I don't know. Now, what's happened since? I mean, Kaden and Pressy have, of course, been quiet. Elisha has been quiet. They've been working behind the scenes to what extent. The additional comment, which is still available till this day as part of a comment thread to do with Rachel Miller. And as we know, Rachel Miller is a complete toss plank. My goodness, because Rachel is the one that has made false claims stating Warlight Ref was being paid off to paint Kaden Pressy in a negative light. And I think by now, if you're competent enough and you've got sunglasses which are actually straight and not wonky and glued on, you'll clearly see that it's been undone by Elisha when it comes to Kaden's and his innocence, as innocent as Kaden is, the contradictions and lack of flow and discrepancies along the way with some of what Kaden said, and more so what Elisha has done, spoken on behalf of Kaden, and Kaden's had to apologise for the behaviour, and Kaden said that his family, most of his parents, don't actually listen to him. It's not looking good there, or it wasn't at the time. Has it improved since? Who knows? Chris said to Rachel, I did my part. I went forward that same day. So you're telling me the police didn't detect any human blood on my truck for no reason? You're a goof if you think I could live with myself after killing someone. if that happened, you did the right thing from day one by going to LE. Keep your head up. And Bergau, thank you for coming forwards to LE the same day. With that being in mind, let's look at some additional comments from a video 2 or 3 days ago and follow on from there and see if there's any questions that can be answered, any interesting answers already, any updates in learning about the case. Here we are, we go to the newest. Going to start from the bottom, work our way up. What I do want to say as a heads up, I just suddenly got a notification from an incompetent individual, and I'll be sharing that with you at the end of the video because it looks like we've got a bit of a ghost from the past, which has shown up once again with a bit of a whingy, whiny tone, but also calling me out. So I will have to defend myself once again. But before we get to that disease, let's acknowledge the good present here, such as Classy Cult. Big shout out to them. Hi Ref, I'm out camping, only catching up. Hopefully the camping's going okay and the tent has stayed up. We've got Michelle, be listening whilst I drive, but I'm here. Shout out to Michelle Brummett. Carl, good job on all the recent videos. Pretty shocking recently, of course, appreciate that. +1, yeah, justice for now. Dean Cash Alsop was there on the highway, and we all know he likes cameras. In terms of this reference, it's to do with Cash Alsop when he got in trouble, got arrested. His wife grassed him up on it, but his wife got also in trouble as well with money embezzlement, said they were as bad as each other. Cash Alsop was done for, in an official building or so, installing a secret spy camera in the female woman's restroom, toilets, bathrooms, whatever you want to call it. And as bad as that is, it's worse because the camera was covertly placed and hidden within an aircon system on top of that all. Now, what did Cash do with the footage? Any videos or clips? Who knows? But bad behaviour, dodgy, and also present at the highway at a certain time, I believe 6 a.m, onwards in a service truck. Did he come across Kaden? Did Cash tell Kaden to walk away from the highway? We've done videos about that already. Carl, was he the dude Warlike Ref reported on a city website that he was arrested for installing a hidden camera? Bergau, well, that ain't nothing new, but he didn't get there until right after Jack Newton went back to the home to tell everyone. George says, why are you ever slow to the case? You've got a lot of catching up to be doing, including all the videos and pictures that have already been discussed and shown to the garbage rumours and rubbish gossip, and that LE couldn't give a bowel movement about because they're skilled at spotting BS and confirm it smells as such. And Dean, wow, aren't you stupid? Or you are stupid. Hey, hello, what do you think this breaking news is? I guess all you goofy people need to keep up. So Dean's got a lot to say. Dean says to Bergau, you are so full of crap. Of course, Dina has had issues with me previous, I'm aware of that. I could run your booty around about this case. So it looks like Dina has a bit of an obsession with George Choden's rear end, and hopefully Dina will not be chewing out George from the back. But beside that, I do not have a memory problem. It's you and a few more that seem to have a problem and can't keep your stories straight. Brenda, why do you find it necessary to lash out at Twilight for simply adding information to the discussion? Well, the thing is, Brenda, as a heads up, this Dina McGill is a whingy, whiny individual that had a bit of a negative obsession with my channel previously, kept yapping on the being on good behaviour towards me in recent time, but I'm sure after this they'll have a few things to say. Beside that, I did say to Joyce Bergau that, well, in regard to Cash Alsop, who may have shown up later on, and with Jet then going back to the house to let people know, I just said, I wonder what time the photos were taken of Noah Presgrove's body, supposedly, in order to work out who could have been at the scene at the relevant time. Oh, am I saying 5:15 compared to 6 a.m? Doesn't really matter. What matters is the timestamps of when the supposed photos were taken of Noah's body. Was it 5 a.m, 4 a.m, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And based off that time of when the photos were actually taken, original timestamp, you could work out, well, who would have been there at that time, and process of elimination. Twinkling said to Brenda, she has nothing better to do and always spewing BS. Sad thing is, she thinks she knows everything, but not even from the area and know the individuals. How am I full of crap? Have more info than you know, and I'll give you. It'll come to light in due time. And Bergau says, I'd like to know that. There we go, on the same wavelength. She spews things as facts. Better watch it. She's talking about your booty. Very dodgy, isn't it? George says, ha ha ha, she can't afford my booty. Whoa, easy there, George. Is George secretly a lap dancer? Oh no, Justin Roy is going to be threatened by that. Anyway, Sherry Wright, yes, same guy. We've got Mike again. Now, was this the Mike called Magic Mike, or was it someone else out there? I think I said Magic Mike, but I can't remember what that was to do with. Maybe Donna will know. Anyway, I had to rewind listening, but won't comment till the end, getting some... Okay. Of course, we've got Skeptical. Big shout out to Skeptical and their support on my channel just recently. The best detectives go over evidence, witness statements, new and old, over and over until the case is solved. You never know what you can turn on. You see it once, you see it again. The next time you look back at it, you might pick up on stuff you didn't the first time round. So yeah, it is important. Carl, that's true. Many cops will never give up on cold cases. Many times a person of interest really is the suspect, but they just don't have enough incriminating evidence at them at the time. But thank God for all the law enforcement efforts to solve the cases with the new technology, DNA analysis, and so on. Stephen, truly sick. Why? I don't understand it. Okay. Investigators should have had pictures. So Kaden got it with the belt when he got home. Well, Stephen, to my knowledge, I'm not aware that Kaden Pressey got whipped with a belt. I don't know where that came from. A bit unusual. Carl, in the US, being chewed out means someone is disappointed or mad and you'll be reprimanded with cussing or sharp words. So yeah, at least it was, for once, actually got some slang correct. I figure all these partygoers had to tell the parents. Law enforcement should find out. Elisha didn't say Georgia is having Caleb's baby. Just kidding. What? When did Elisha joke about Georgia, Caden's cousin, having Caleb's Newton's baby? What? Yeah, that's a bit dodgy. If Elisha... Wait, no, Elisha didn't say. Just kid. Oh, yeah. Stephen. What's going on, Stephen? Some parties would take the car keys. Victor, I wish I had a statement from Georgia who took her to the party. George, go ask for yourself. She's 18 now. Kind of a rude comment by you. Internet makes fake tough people. Michaela T. Is it tea time already? Oh my goodness. Carl, yes, Kaden saying he didn't see Caleb Newton is, I believe, like you said, talking about at the highway, not the party. I mean, we've seen it previously in a previous convo, Facebook Messenger, where Caleb said, I can say with 100% certainty, Caleb was not at the party. So that's interesting. George Choden. So it's very interesting why Noah's estate mentioned Caleb at all. Anything. He was there and it was his ATV, etc. Caleb could score a nice settlement. And I said it did seem a bit weird how Caleb was labelled as giving permission for Noah to ride a side-by-side if he wasn't there to give permission. And on top of it, if he didn't own it, it was Jack's. George, it's beyond weird. World record weird. Caleb's earned a big fat settlement check. Sherry, I've always thought this. I believe Caleb was at the party house during the party, but Kaden says he never saw him. George, geofence would most likely show that he wasn't. Now, based on the height and the size of Caleb Newton, you would have thought he would have stood out like a bit of a sore thumb. Not in a bad way. And from all the party footage, what we've seen, we've not seen anything or nothing in the background either of Caleb present. I know some people could say, well, he was outside. He was in a different building nearby. Is there any snaps from other angles which could prove or disprove that? Glenn, big shout out to Glenn. Jen, a different Jen, so I believe, but welcome, Jen. I just started this video, and after 11 minutes in, I should watch last night's video first, but now I can't stop watching this one. I may not comment or give my opinion, theories, but always love your videos. Well, I'm glad that you like my videos, and for watching, appreciate that. That's good of you, Jen. As well, we've got G Unit. I don't trust any of these so-called friends. Their stories keep changing and their timelines don't match up. It's blatantly obvious that they're covering up the truth. Why would they all wipe their phones? They'll all need to be locked up for this. Well, the whole reference of wiping phones, we don't actually have any hard evidence of that. It's just what's supposedly being claimed. Granted, though, I believe it was Robin Smith on the Reddit page that confirmed it or made a reference as in, well, we were told by police that that's what happened. Phones were wiped, or at least Carter's was. Carter Combs. How true is it? Never really been updated officially since, unfortunately. George, there is some rather interesting text going back to September 2023, which explains some local obsessions with a couple of the core families, in this case specifically presumed power and wealth. We knew this was going to turn out to be all about the money and how those without reckoned they could score some. Also, there are early texts that show where a lot of the ideas that circulated in the army group came from. So these interesting texts, do they need to be, I don't know, analysed at some point if locals have obsessions with certain families? Sherry, in my opinion, it could possibly have been one of the truck drivers who took the leaked photos of Noah's deceased body as well, possibly just as leverage in case someone chose to deny anything. Just from my memory, in the police interview, I believe it was Kaden Pressey at that time that made the reference to the whole, tampering with the shorts, video footage, being shown it by Kathy Bingham that had the video, and Kathy Bingham got the video. It was passed on by one of the truck drivers that recorded it. So if he did that, then he could have taken a photo as well with this. But Kathy Bingham had said that she had no video of it. So it's a bit weird how that was mentioned by Kaden. Charlie. Welcome to the channel, Charlie. In my personal opinion, if this was the case, then Donna Bond would have had to have known the truck driver as how was she able to describe in such detail his body and injuries. I'm no inspector, but this tells me it's an LE or volunteer firefighter due to her tight relationship with them. What, so Donna Bond has a tight relationship with the LE or volunteer firefighter? Does that sound? Not heard that before. Sherry, I don't understand why, if Elisha was so concerned for George's safety, why didn't she go get her right away and not hours later? Fair point. George says, also Elisha forgot to retrieve Kaden from the party and left him there. I guess Noah's was the last thing on her mind as well. I mean, I guess Elisha wouldn't have been aware that Noah wanted a ride home, but, if Elisha was like, Kaden, you're underage drinking. You know what happened previously when you were 18 and you were in the car park and you got apprehended by police, and I wouldn't want you doing that again. So because of that, I'm going to take you home too. But didn't do that. You'd have thought Elisha could have considered that to an extent if she knew about Kaden drinking. But then if Elisha has been caught on camera from, that footage in the car park and like what we've seen previous, supposedly, of Elisha, and claims from Kaden's ex-girlfriend saying that Elisha, as well as Kaden's brother Chandler Pressey, but more so Elisha, would supply alcohol to Kaden and maybe in some way to others, or it would be passed on to other underage people. So maybe there's a bit of leniency there, as in Alicia's like, you know what, Kaden, you can stay at the party, you're underage drinking, but, I've supplied alcohol myself to you or others supposedly, so I'm not going to snap too hard, maybe. One day at a time. Brenda, good video. So much to comment on and question. I'll just say this for now. Someone made a sensible decision to not let Georgia and Breely drive back to Duncan and made sure they didn't. Appreciate that, Brenda. Supposedly, Brenda, it's been mentioned by some from the dark side that it was Avery, Joe Combs, the birthday girl, that when welcoming Breely and Georgia in and saw the state that they were in and the age, didn't turn them away, because if they did, be drunk driving could be a danger. What else do we have? Timestamp in my video. I recall reading a comment about Caleb was at a friend's gathering in Duncan. I believe Kaden and many of his phone data will be subpoenaed for the civil case. Well, like Raf, congratulations on the number of views you're getting on TikTok. Appreciate that. Spreading awareness out there. A bit more growth than on YouTube, which is rather interesting. I heard a volunteer firefighter took photos of Noah at the scene and shared with his wife. Oh, right. I haven't ever heard about the photos being shared online, nor have I seen them online. Good catch, Warlike Ralph. These are just timestamps in my video when they're reacting. In my opinion, things would be different if Kaden and the other three guys, I guess Bryle and Mikey Isaac, would have remained at the house in Terrell to speak with Ellie. I believe they would have been interviewed that day, so out of the way, over and done with. The next day, their phones would have been turned in as the five who remained at the house did. Okay, yeah. That could have helped Kaden as well. Yeah. Their memories would have been fresher. In shock, but still without any outside influences, like Elisha. Not cooperating with who? Ellie, the family, both. That doesn't line up with comments stating Kaden waiting outside of the porch with Georgia for Elisha to come get her. My opinion, Avery didn't leave her own party and go pick up Georgia in Duncan. Yeah, I agree. Someone else is saying Elisha said Avery brought Georgia to the party. It's not a comment directly from Elisha. Am I understanding that correctly? Someone's saying that Elisha said Avery brought Georgia. Yeah. So it's Kaden Pressey having a conversation with a member of the general public, and the member of the general public is speaking on behalf of what Elisha had claimed, what Avery did. Please keep in mind the timestamps I've included may be a little off the mark. That's all good. That's fine. And do we have anything else? No. Let's just head on over to the other comment by someone. Here we go. So this was a video a bit before that, I believe, some days ago, but 5 hours ago, Justin Roy commented and said, I would say very biased coverage from people that pay you to blame others of their choosing or claim it was a hit and run when LE clearly knows it wasn't, or that he just fell out of the back of a truck, yet there's hardly no blood on the scene and no leg injuries to support that. I said I can't remember which video it was from, but a video what we've done in recent time was to do with what Brooke Bounds-Carter said, in which a person at the highway at the scene then passed it on to BBC more recently, which is interesting timing. Why not earlier? Why did this person who was at the scene speak out only now? But BBC passed it on to the public and said about there's ruts, there are rumble strips in parallel to the hard shoulder, close to the white line where Noah was found, and underneath Noah's body, blood collected in the rumble strips to some extent, so there was additional blood. But did we ever hear about that officially? No. I wonder why. Justin says, in fact, I would say you have been trying to mislead people. From the looks of it, it sounds like Justin is calling me out, as in first by saying, I would say very biased coverage, first of all, and then saying, I would say you, Warlight Ref, have been trying to mislead people. That's how it comes across, as in you, because I don't see any other names mentioned. If that really is the case, well, that's disappointing, Justin. If I'm trying to mislead people, why would I be doing that, Justin? If I'm trying to mislead people, why would I spend months upon months covering it from the light side? Oh, Justin, I mean, how much more incompetent could you get? Because have you not even seen the videos that I've done in recent time? Justin, I want you to sit down and listen very closely because I've got a couple of things to say very shortly, okay? There's only two scenarios and both lead back to the party house and property, and several partygoers know exactly what happened. Both scenarios are foul play and staging involved. You, Warlight Ref, also allow harassment and slander on your biased channel as well. Oh, and you, Justin, support other creators out there that are known for sexual deviant activity, threats of suing people, and constant fake AI-generated content, which you seem to be perfectly okay with, and you bow down to like a submissive individual. Take a hard look at yourself first, rearrange that baseball cap, and find your marbles, okay? So don't brag about your 376 biased videos where you get paid by the cover-up crew. You've made a mockery out of Noah's case. In what way, though? It sounds like something Jan Fiorillo would say. Sounds like something like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, Pam Feldman Garrison would say. It's rather interesting, this. I'll just shut the window because of these yapping dogs nearby. I don't know if you heard any barking in the background, Justin. I had to shut the window. It's probably Justin whining in the background. Don't worry, we'll get you some dog treats shortly. Anyway, there's a few things that need to be said here. You this and you that. Just very pathetic communication from here. Just in no position to be talking. Your behaviour, your actions, the way the family, the way the police have called you out, it's not a good look, is it? So first of all, what I just wanted to say is I looked back at that comment by Justin Roy, and do you know where it came from? It actually was posted in response to my comment, which was actually on a different YouTuber's channel, a female content creator which covers true crime cases here and there, and recently made a bit of video coverage on the Noah Presgrove case, and I left a comment myself just announcing myself that I am Warlight Raf. I've extensively covered the case, 378 videos made now on the case onwards, stating it as a fact, and also mentioning how the case is very strange, and the community as well. And I guess what Justin Roy desperately did was to try and spread my name in a false negative way in hopes of getting other channels and other people out there to see my comment and to see Justin Roy's comment calling me out in a negative false way, in hopes of trying to damage or harm my credibility. Justin Roy, can you stop obsessing over me with like a gay obsession? There's already enough males lining up nearby. I don't really appreciate or approve of it, okay? So what you need to do, Justin Roy, is look, listen, learn, close your mouth and know your place, right? Be a good boy for me. You gonna be a good boy or what? Because you keep barking on and on when the family have told you to take a step back to cool off, when the police have even called you out, when Kaden Pressy also agreed with the police, Anthony Linares, when calling you out. It's not a good look. Justin Roy, there's been many times where you have either effed up or times where you've been backed into a corner and it's got messy and I have defended you, but you constantly forget that now because your mind is very selective, one-dimensional and obtuse. It is what it is. When I'm on your side, oh, it's all fine and okay. But when I transition elsewhere to cover it in a holistic, balanced way, you've got a problem with it. And now suddenly I'm labelled as biased and one-sided when I'm actually more balanced than ever because I've covered it from the light side and the dark side. And just recently, Justin Roy, you incompetent parasite, if you had looked at my videos recently, I have locked back in with the murder, with the foul play, with the disposing of the body. I've done extensive coverage, extensive original map analysis on that stuff that you would probably have a wet dream over because it suits in line with your mindset. But where are you for that coverage? And where are the army supporters? Given up, weak, lacking stamina, lacking focused. So the reality is that when I return back to origins of where it started and who I covered first, and from the light side perspective, once I return back to that because there is relevant stuff to cover, oh, it's not acknowledged now. Oh, we're still focusing on the biased coverage. If I'm so biased, Justin Roy, are you saying that me covering the death outcome, as in murder and foul play, is biased all of a sudden? What you believe in, it's biased, that, isn't it? It's really biased and unfair, and I'm being paid off as well. Look, listen, learn, Justin Roy. Justin lacking contest, just incompetent Roy. Look back at my recent videos and you will see I've covered foul play, I have covered murder, I have covered Noah being killed on the porchway, map analysis, Kathy Bingham's claims, loaded up in the side-by-side and taken to the highway. I've looked at the Sarah Long comment once again, bringing awareness there, which everyone else has given up on or forgotten about. And I don't see you talking about it either, Justin. With Sarah Long, the wheat field, picking teeth up, was Noah killed there? Was teeth collected there? Was the body moved on from there to the Sandplank crossing? Did extensive map analysis there. I've done extensive map analysis of the wrongful death lawsuit. Justin Roy, where are you at? You're too busy whinging and whining, trying to paint a negative light on me on a different channel out there, desperately clawing and scratching and sweating at the palms just because you want to appear to make me look bad so then other people will believe in it. Desperate, cancerous, disease-ridden behavior. Look back on my channel to my recent videos, wrongful death lawsuit, extensively analysed, extensively covered in the map analysis format, covering it from what you would want to hear, what you would like to hear, but you can't even be asked to check that out, you lazy, incompetent tool. Instead of whinging and whining and throwing your toys out the pram, get a grip of yourself and reflect back. Now, whilst other people can't stand Michael Faiskaz is a bit more competent than Justin Roy, as in keeping up with my coverage from either side or perspective. Whilst Michael may not agree with some of the coverage or how it's dealt with, it is what it is. Michael is still watched and kept up. Justin Roy, are you on a lead? Does it not extend any further? Set that lead off, free your mind, and look at the recent coverage, which you would be happy to see, but you're too busy whining, you forget and neglect what's in sight. Okay? And I said myself in recent time, where's everyone to suddenly congratulate me? Or where's everyone to suddenly praise and say, oh, look, Warlight Raph's back on covering it from the light side perspective? Hardly anyone. You know who remained and who stood by and watched, whether they agreed or just listening in? The dark side. It truly sets aside and shows what's really going on. But the dark side are patient enough to listen to my coverage from an alternative side, and they don't throw their toys out the pram. In fact, when I do cover it from their side, they do appreciate of it. Yet from the light side, as long as I cover it from the light side, things are all good. But if I do go elsewhere, oh, I'm a bad person all of a sudden. Really one-dimensional. Justin Roy, not good. The blueprints are terrible, right? To say that I've got a biased channel, how much more incompetent could you be? You're saying in general, overall, my channel. My channel, which is known for uploading ASMR videos. So somehow my ASMR videos are very biased. That I've made music videos, whistling, ambient sounds, dark ambient war horns. They're somehow biased. I'm blowing into a tight hole. I'm blowing into a bugle, a musical instrument. That is so biased. Oh my God, I need counseling. That I've done other short clips and mystery videos. Oh yeah, that's really biased coverage when I've covered it from 30 different angles and perspectives. Oh, goodness gracious me. I've done a few videos where I talk in a French accent, an Indian accent, a Jamaican accent, Japanese accent. Oh my God, that's so biased. How could you do that by covering 16 different accents from around the world? That's so biased and one-sided. Justin Roy, do you see your reasoning ability? It's clearly lacking, but you know, once again, you've wiggled on in, come out of the cracks, out of nowhere, as a broken record, still complaining, and you're not pleased, okay? Hard to please. I made that prediction in the past that when Justin Roy was begging or demanding or oh, do this and cover that, then it's done. Still not happy, still not pleased. It wasn't good enough. It's never seems to be good enough anymore. Well, that's unfortunate, but we do have some premium quality dog food on the side. I'm sure that'll get some 5-star reviews. Okay, we got to use some lightheartedness to cut through the darkness. But Justin, your words, your language, not in a position to be talking. Definitely not. So if anyone else wants to share your thoughts there, feel free to do so. In terms of Warlight Raph being paid off or whatever in the chat channel by the dark side and whatnot, well, in all honesty, Justin, if you actually looked at my videos in recent times, there's not really been many super chats or super stickers. So, and just know, Justin Roy, there's been times over time where even when covering it from the dark side, there were people from the light side that were supporting my channel because they just appreciated coverage in general. Well, of course, you're not going to acknowledge it or see it from that side, are you? Anyway, beside that, I hope you enjoyed the video. As for everybody else watching, okay? Appreciate that, and I'll see you next time. My name's Warlight Raph. Goodbye, good night.